If you like our content, please like, subscribe, and click the notification bell to get alerts when we introduce new videos.
Welcome to the demonstration series for the RUCKUS Analytics Cloud Service for Network Intelligence and Service Assurance. The videos in this series will describe the various views, services, and capabilities of the RUCKUS Analytics platform. In this video, I'll describe the data presented in the Wireless Clients Report dashboard. So let's get started. Here I am, logged into RUCKUS Analytics. You access the Wireless Clients Report dashboard by navigating to and expanding Report on the left side pane. Then click on the Clients link. This will open the Wireless Clients Report dashboard. The Wireless Clients Report provides you with details of traffic and trends over time from the client's perspective. Let's start at the top of the page. As with most reports, there's a time selection field which allows you to determine the time span of the data represented in the report. And next to that is the filter selection field that allows you to select which devices to include in the report. These fields are covered in detail in a separate presentation of this video series. Now let's look at the various tiles available in this report. At the top left is the Overview tile. It provides information about the total user traffic, about traffic received at the AP and transmitted from the AP, and the total number of clients over the selected time period. To the right of that is the top 10 unique clients by traffic graph. It displays information about the top 10 unique clients by traffic. You can modify the display by selecting total user traffic, received traffic, or transmitted traffic from the dropdown. Passing your mouse over any of the bars in the graph will display the MAC address of that client. Below that is the top 10 OS by client count tile. It displays information about the top 10 operating systems being used the most by the clients in your network, in a donut chart and in graph formats. Passing your mouse over the operating systems in the donut shows the number of clients using that OS. The graph shows the number of clients of each OS over time at specific intervals. The drop-down allows the adjustment of granularity of the graph. Depending on the time range of the report, you may be able to select from minutes, hours, or days, and potentially weeks or months. Within the graph, the squares allow selection or deselection of operating systems to display in the graph. The colors of these squares correspond to the colors on the donut chart. And passing your mouse over any plot point will display a pop-up box detailing the total number of each of the selected operating systems at that time interval. Next, we have the top 10 manufacturers by client count tile. It displays information about the top 10 manufacturers of wireless equipment most represented in your network. This tile also contains a donut chart and a graph. The passing of your mouse over a manufacturer in the donut shows the total number of clients for that manufacturer over the selected time period. The graph allows adjustment of granularity with a drop-down and allows the selection or deselection of manufacturers by clicking on the squares. And again, passing your mouse over one of the plot points of the graph displays a pop-up box with client manufacturer counts in that time period. Next up is the top 10 authentication methods by client count tile. It displays information about the top 10 methods most commonly used in your system to authenticate users. This tile also contains a donut chart and a graph, and passing your mouse over an authentication method in the donut shows the total number of clients that authenticated using that method over the selected period of time. The graph allows adjustment of granularity with the drop-down and allows the selection or deselection of authentication methods by clicking on the squares. And again, passing your mouse over one of the plot points of the graph displays a pop-up box showing the client authentication methods totals within that time period. Next, we have the Client Details tile. It contains a table that shows a list of clients with the highest traffic volume in the network. You can sort based on any column by clicking on the column header. By default, it displays the top 10 clients, but this can be changed with the drop-down. Additionally, you can use the gear icon to modify which columns are displayed, and you can increase the number of rows to display per page. Next to the Unique Client Trends Over Time graphs. The first shows the total number of unique clients over time, and the second shows the total client traffic volume over time. For these graphs, you can select a date range that deviates from the overall report selected time period and only applies to these graphs. Additionally, you can adjust the granularity of the graph with the drop-down box. On the client count graph, you can toggle the checkboxes to display or remove the plotting of all radios, 2.4 GHz radios, or 5 GHz radios. In the traffic graph, you can toggle all user traffic, transmit user traffic only, or RX user traffic only. And on either graph, if you pause the pointer over one of the plot points, an information box is displayed containing the details for that selected metrics at that selected time period. Last up, we have the Unique Client Trend Over Time table. It is populated by the same information as the graphs we just covered, but in a table format. The table allows you to compare traffic over multiple time periods. The date and time period selections will show traffic totals at each time period for the duration of the date range. For example, here we can see traffic data for each 15-minute interval starting at the beginning of the selected time period. If I extend the date range of the data, you'll see the time period interval change to 1 day, with alternate options of 1 week and 1 month. And again, clicking the gear icon allows you to modify which columns are displayed in the table, as well as increase the number of rows per page on the display. As with most reports in RUCKUS Analytics, this report can be exported to a comma-separated value CSV file or to a PDF. Selecting the CSV option contains all the raw data that populates each of the tables, graphs, and data points combined into a single zip file. The PDF export output looks very similar to the screen you're viewing now, with each of the current tiles, graphs, and tables displayed in the same graphical format. So this completes the presentation describing the RUCKUS Analytics Wireless Clients Report dashboard. I hope you found this information useful and hope you return for more of the presentations in this RUCKUS Analytics series. Thank you for taking the time to view this presentation.